So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm confused as hell as to what is going on in the heavyweight division, and even more so, what to believe, particularly around Usyk, Fabio Wardley, and Joseph Parker. We all know the history about Parker waiting his turn, really want to get that fight with Usyk. He was mandated by the WBO, especially right after Dubois got knocked out by Usyk, stepped in the ring, really wanted his shot, then got mandated and tried to do negotiations with Usyk, who, mind you, is under the same promotional company as, but mind you not, the deal just couldn't get done. Usyk was hurt, and an extension had to be granted, and then so on, so on, so on. Promotional company says, hey, we'll do a WBO interim fight, guaranteed that person gets Usyk 2026 between who? A dangerous Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker. Parker, the man he is, takes the fight. Here we go. Parker's up on the cards, winning that fight. We all know how the fight went. Clipped in round 11. Well, really clipped in round 10. Finished up in round 11. Too many unanswered shots. At least that's what the ref said. Many thought it was controversial. Many thought that Parker was blocking those shots and rolling with them, but neither here or there. The ref saw too many punches unanswered. No matter what we thought, that's how the fight went. He lost. Fast forward. And this is where it really gets weird. Many of us were clamoring for a rematch, right? We thought it should be a good rematch between Parker and Fabio Wardley, who had a damn good fight. That was a really good fight. Even with that controversial stoppage, it was a good fight. Both men gave it their all. The rematch was warranted. Parker was up on the cards, been waiting his turn all this time, and just got clipped, man. And Wardley did what he had to do and got the stoppage. That's warranted for a good rematch. But you know, the business of boxing was pushing Wardley to at least get his shot with Usyk. And I can understand that. So let's get back to the confusion that's just been happening. Parker, as you all know, in the last week, just popped for what? A recreational drug, a.k.a. Mr. Cocaine, a.k.a. the powder. A veteran fighter pops for that recreational drug in a voluntary drug test. Confusion number one starts. And if you watched our past video, check it out about the conspiracy or truth against Joseph Parker. We outlined some codes of how we got here. And our primary thought is it's got to be contamination. Because no matter what you think about Parker, and we've received some, some good notices and Google searches and articles about some shady histories of Mr. Parker, and certain things he's been accused of, but not, convicted or anything, but just accused of. And no matter what you think about his background, I'm not really here for the background. Our whole thought about that was it's a veteran fighter. No matter what he's done in his past, he's a veteran fighter. Even if he does do this drug, his own vice, I got it. I'm not going to shame you. That's your vice. Everybody got their own vices. But we're talking about a veteran fighter who's been in the game 10 plus fights, 30 plus fights, 10 plus years. Who knows the system, knows how to operate, knows when to turn off his vices. And you're telling me he couldn't turn it off for one of the biggest fights of his career that's going to guarantee him a WBO match in 2026. Sounds shady. But I'm going to stick with, I believe it's contamination. Hopefully the B sample comes clear. But as many of you know, the B sample is usually, if it's the other one's contaminated and mixed up, odds are the B sample probably is too, but we'll see what happens. Neither here or there. We're still dealing with that. So that's confusion number one. But confusion number two just happened within the last 48 hours. Fabio Wardley, who thinks he's about to get him now a for sure guaranteed Usyk fight, that Parker's got some other things to handle with. Now he's out of the way. Mind you not, watch our conspiracy video. There is a conspiracy about was it a setup, but now that Parker's out the way, can't demand that rematch. Here goes Fabio and Usyk. We think it's clear to go. Lo and behold, in the last 48 hours, Usyk just drops the belt. So you tell me you waited all this time to now just drop the belt. Mind you, all this is underneath the same promotional company. Now you just drop the belt for Fabio. When many, you know, we all knew Fabio would be an underdog anyways, and he was just getting outboxed by Parker, would surely get outboxed and maybe even stopped by the likes of Usyk. Why drop the belt? This is adding more confusion and more just untrustworthiness. If I said that right, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know what to trust anymore coming from this situation. What is going on in the heavyweight boxing division? You got Anthony Joshua about to fight Jake Paul. And then you got Joseph Parker, former fighter against AJ, popping for cocaine. And then you got Fabio Wardley, now the new WBO champion. After beating Joseph Parker after controversial stoppage, when Parker was clamoring to get that belt months prior to this fight, and Usyk kept extending, forcing this interim fight. He could have dropped the belt back then, and really could have been Parker mandated, or at least got him a vacated shot against whoever he wanted. And you drop the belt. Usyk drops the belt after this. The verdict ain't all the way out. B7's going to come in, but after this news about the powder, what is going on? This is not really supporting the case of everything is on the up and up. Everything's not aligning. Well, it's aligning, but it's aligning in a bad way. This is what puts a bad taste in a lot of fans and a lot of people who support boxing's mouth. It just doesn't add up. Salute to Fabio. He won the fight. Now he's a champion overnight. But why drop the belt now when you could have dropped it months ago? How does a veteran pop for this recreational drug and never had this issues of any type for popping before? What is going on in this camp? What is going on underneath this single promotional umbrella? I think they got some of the best fighters, meaning Frank Warren's team, Queensberry Promotions. But with this situation, this particular situation, something is crazy. Something is off. Something just doesn't sit right. But then again, maybe it aligned just right. Maybe Parker is a guy that got caught finally using his vice, using his powder. And Usyk just got tired of waiting around for a proper threat and wanted to fight someone of his own choosing and didn't want to be forced into a Fabio Wardley fight. Maybe it all just aligned right. But either way, we talked too long on this. I'm confused. Not sure what to believe because it's how everything lined up. Who's to trust on this? But either way, one thing we can say is this. Fabio Wardley is now the new WBO heavyweight champion of the world. Usyk will probably go on to fight the likes of a Tyson Fury or another big name, get him a big money fight to wrap up his career in 2026. And Parker's on the fence until his sample is cleared of what to do with his career. Either way, let us know what you think. Hit that like button below, comment, Subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. Until the next time. Peace.